$400, $500, $600, $650.
All right. Now, fellas, today you can say I was late.
700.
I'll accept it. I will accept it. Today, I was late. Okay? There you go. There you go. Is that what you want to hear me say? Is that what you want to hear? I'm late. Adventure on Atari 7.0 NS there, glue sealed box, $812. The first item was a factory case pack of 6 Star Wars games. If you've never seen this before, we see these, we don't see these much, to be completely honest. Like, it is pretty niche, but you can grade factory cases of video games. I don't really like it. I don't really like them as a collectible. You can do it. Atari Video Cube. This is from Atari Club exclusive. I think you had to mail in.
$1,100.
Sold exclusively through the Atari Club. Yeah, like, I think it was a mail-in thing. So there was no way to, like, you know, for most people to purchase this. It's 1982 at this. Like, yeah, just rare as hell. Rare as hell. That $1,250 for VGA 85. And that's going to be the theme of this auction. Like, I know a lot of people aren't fans of pre-Nintendo. I don't think this channel specifically has a lot of collectors of pre-Nintendo. But, like, if you enjoy rare video games with weird stories, why does this exist? This game here is called Bachelor Party by Swedish Erotica. Like, this stuff is... Yeah, it's this side of video games where it was genuinely the Wild West. You could publish anything, anyone could be a game developer. People just spit shit out left, right, and center for Atari, Coleco. It's insane. Some of the stuff that exists is genuinely insane. Bachelor Party just went for $906 there. This is another one. This is Bachelorette Party. Because, of course, if it's going to be Bachelor Party, you also have to have Bachelorette Party. VGA 90 on this. First time selling this at Heritage. Highest graded copy out of just 6 on VGA Pop Report. VGA 90 pushing over $1,000. Yeah, more like the Wild Wild Worst. I mean, you're not even wrong, Joseph. A lot of this stuff is flaming hot shit. Right? To put it very frank, a lot of this stuff is absolutely abysmal to actually play on an Atari console. I think it's pretty fair to say that this stuff is more fun to collect than it is to actually play. The stories, the artwork, everything going on with this is far more interesting than the actual gameplay. This is called Beat 'em and Eat 'em. Again, Swedish Erotica, Mystique Company. These are only sold at... I'm pretty sure you had to go to adult video stores in order to get these. Like, obviously, none of these would have been held in a normal video game store, so...
Fair warning.
The way that they were distributed, right, private adult stores and that stuff, they just sold poorly. Now, a lot of them, interestingly, like, I'm pretty sure Beat 'em and Eat 'em, there are case packs of this game that exist. So you do run into that spot where it was so rare that it didn't get normal distribution, but they still printed a ton of them, and then they just didn't sell. Yeah, tell us what Beat 'em and Eat 'em is about. Yeah. Oh boy, what's the back of the cartridge say? What's the back say? Your local leading lady and all the uptown boys are standing in line for a date, but a savvy soda slinger just around the corner is more down your alley, and you can't seem to get enough of the famous fountain treats.
320.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, that's some good gameplay right there. You will be certain to get all that's coming to you. I think that sums up pretty well right there. I think that sums it up pretty well. Berenstein Bears Kid Vid Talking Video Game Set. I don't think I've ever seen this before. 4 copies have been graded by VGA. VGA 90 on this. You get a cartridge, the manual, and the talking story cassettes. Pushing its way over $500. Do not do that with your tongue while reading that. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'm helping understand what Beat 'em and Eat 'em is about there. Is that giving you a very good visual, Tim? My visuals are probably better than the gameplay anyway, so. You started collecting graded games because you're inspired by you to start. Oh boy. Oh boy, you're going down the wrong rabbit hole, Buster. You're gonna watch all your money disappear quicker than you know, Kevin. But honestly, I'm happy you're in. It's great. Great to see you in there. Bernstein Bears VGA 90, $562. This hobby, Kevin, is just like more fun the more you learn. That's the thing with, I mean, I think most hobbies are like that. Be it trading cards, comics. There are a lot of people who enjoy just doing these hobbies at very surface level. Like, you know, people jump in at very surface level participation. But in my opinion, any hobby, it gets way better the more you learn. Like, the deeper you jump in, the more rewarding, fulfilling, and interesting everything is. And video games, I think, are like truly the #1 thing like that. There's always new shit to learn. Berenstain Bears? Yeah, stop saying Stein. I'm a Stein guy till the end. Bowling, CGC 8.0 A plus there for 575. I don't. Maybe it's European. It looks really weird. Breakout 9.4 there, also going for $375. Here's Bridge by Activision 9.0 NS. Only copy of this variant on the March Pop Reports. Some early Activision always gets some love actually from Atari. You've watched me talk about graded games for years now, and you've yet not bought a single graded game in probably 2 years. Izzy, dude, you gotta jump in, man. Are you still doing VHS stuff? I know back when, you know, VHS was exploding and stuff, you had your amazing Pokemon collection. I assume you still do have that collection. Are you still buying, selling, or participating in anything, Izzy? Good to see you around, dude. You got the frickin' golden banana little emoji there, too. A 3-year dude. That's wild, Izzy. You're an OG, man. You're an OG.
Next lot.
You thought Atari prices would be cheaper? It's interesting, right? Like, I saw Rick there also made a thing. I think it was Rick. Someone said, like, who's buying this stuff? I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. $110. It's kind of funny because in Facebook groups, in the sealed Facebook groups on Instagram, all the places where we see social engagement around sealed graded video games, high-end video games, the amount of Atari exposure that there are in the groups or on Instagram. Maybe I'm just in the wrong place. Maybe there are hidden high-end Atari groups, right? But like, I don't see people talking and engaging with Atari, with pre-Nintendo stuff. Yet when you show up to the showcase auction, when we have all this rare shit, high-grade shit, I think most people think you come to this auction and you're going to be able to steal stuff, right? Stuff's going to go cheap. Bridge sold for $575. Cocoa Nuts, maybe that's a deal. 8.5 there, selling for $139. I think that's a one of one, maybe. Cosmic Commuter here, 9.28++, pushing its way all the way to $750, right? Most of this is very good high-end Atari. Yes, Jason, 100%. Crazy Climber, this is, yeah, very first Atari Club exclusive game, like I was saying before there. Was never released through conventional outlets. Ah, man, I wish they would say if Atari Club was a mail-in thing. It has to be, right? It was frickin' 1980s. What else would you be doing if you're not mailing? But this is also Atari Club, makes it insanely rare. VGA 85 plus on this. Pushing its way up to $1,000. Maybe the people buying them are too old for YouTube? Yeah, the Gen Xers talk on Friendster and MySpace. You mail in for the Atari Club. Yeah, I figured. Atari fans, yeah, don't know how to use the internet. You sold your complete Nintendo Power Collection, $6,000? Jeez. Just as a raw collection, some dude? It honestly feels pretty good. I mean, Atari is cool, Hamster. Atari is cool. And I went down the Atari rabbit hole with cartridges, consoles, Coleco, all that stuff. It's just as prices went up on everything, as, like, you know, I collected more and more shit, I just kind of had to cut Atari and pre-Nintendo out because they don't have an actual connection to it. Crazy Climber ends at $1,000. But, you know, like this selling for $1,000 still, 2024 post-video game crash, it's insanely rare stuff. Like, there are still people collecting this. These do still have buyers. Like Crystal Castles, whatever, I'm pretty sure early production copy. I think this game's pretty darn common, going for $200 here. Yeah, Crystal Castles, whatever, you guys know at this point, like, what's common. But anytime we get stuff that is in the rare side of Atari, like, it still does pretty damn good. Crystal Castle selling for $175. This Cubicolor thing was
$40.
withdrawn from the auction. Not sure what that's about, but Defender 7.0 NS. And with a lot of this Atari stuff, in the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, join. Free link in the description. Sometimes some of the CGC reps talk in there, water reps. It's a good Discord, like 1,000 people in there. Join, link in the description. But the CGC person was saying a lot of the Atari stuff that's coming to this auction is from this William Selander collection. And I'm pretty sure, oh man, he had a big write-up, but I'm pretty sure it's a single-owner collection from back in like 1980. He started buying Atari games. He was a pop culture collector by trade, and a lot of this stuff he purchased, you know, he was collecting this stuff years and years and years ago.
Fair warning.
Now, I don't know why it's a, this is a named collection versus a pedigree. I don't 100% know the difference between why one or is the other, but I don't believe it's actually a pedigree, but it's from the William Selander Collection. And that's why a lot of this stuff is existing today, because there was a person who had this insanely rare shit. Oh man, I don't want to say he died either. I don't know if he died. I don't know the story well enough. But in the Discord, if you go to the CGC channel, it was shared. A bunch of information. I'll just try and grab some of it for you. Of course, you guys aren't going to go into the Discord. How the hell do I get there? Where's Discord for Windows? I don't want to download that. What's going on? Stop, please. Open Discord.
$65, $70, $85, $95, $100, 100, 100, 100, 200, 200, 300, 300, 300, 400.
Oh my god, look at that. An absolute essay about this.
Fair warning. Next lot.
Maybe some of this we can share? Does that even... Oh, it's too long. I can't even share this. Well, anyways, if you go in the Discord CGC grading, there's a bunch of information about this collection. It literally hits the word limit. Like, I can't share it in the YouTube comments. But that's why a lot of this super rare shit is showing up. Because there was someone who curated all of this super rare shit. Panda Computer Games. This is the first time it's ever been shown. This is probably the only sealed copy known to exist. But 8.0 IQ. Selling for $575. Demolition Herbie went for $937.50. Donkey Kong 9.28 plus red box. Why is that selling for $575? Is red box Donkey Kong actually something? Double Dragon 8.58 plus there, selling for $425. And another Panda Computer Games. I'm pretty sure even the Panda cartridges are insanely hard to find. First time at Heritage here. This is Exoset. Yeah, I feel like these Panda computer games are just insanely rare. In your experience, have I seen what stuff graded in 2019-20 get the same grade if they are reholdered? They gave out the A++ more back then, right? In general, you're probably going to get the same grade. The A++ was given out a bit more back then. If you have an A++ game in a 2019-2020 holder, I'd be a little bit cautious about that. But the actual numerical grade, you'll probably be fine with. Same with A+ seal, you'll probably be fine. Watching the stream on the way home from Chick-fil-A. You got one hand on the wheel like you're holding up the Greg phone on the side there. You got Chick-fil-A in your mouth. Good luck, other drivers. Exoset selling for $937.50. Yeah, Panda's really uncommon, even as cartridge CIB. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I remember, like there's so much vague Atari knowledge that I still have in my head. Because instead of learning every single Atari game, right, that was impossible. I would learn the super rare Atari developers. So if you saw a game out in the wild or you're looking at a lot of 50 Atari games, it's like, okay, all of this is shit, but this game right here is published by Panda. Now, I don't know anything about the game, but this might be something. You know what I mean? It became the quick way of identifying uncommon Atari cartridges.
Fair warning.
So some of those publishers still stick out in my brain as like, oh, that was one, you know. Now, I don't think I ever even saw a Panda cartridge in real life. But it was something I always had on my brain.
Fair warning.
You haven't participated much in the high-end collectibles recently, been mostly focused on your Amazon selling business, but you have been tempted to buy a graded game or two someday just because you love them? Oh yeah, get in here, Izzy. Get in here. You'll come into this hobby soon enough. You're probably the only person under 20 who's into this stuff, like probably. Like probably. You're tempted to get yourself a nice graded Shadow of Destiny for PS2. Definitely a game very few people care about, but at this point just really want to own one for what I love. Yeah, Shadow of Destiny, isn't there something interesting about that? I feel like that game isn't worthless. Is it FromSoft or like something? There's something there.
800.
Fathom 9.4A++ for $575. Fireball 9.8A++ for $350. Frankenstein, yeah, Data, what's it called? Data Age is another one of those developers. Basically, like, once you see enough Atari stuff, you can even just see box design and box art where you're like, hey, wait a second, that looks rare. You know what I mean? You start seeing boxes and shit where it's like, man, that just looks like a rare Atari game. And it's hard to articulate what a rare Atari game looks like, but like, once you see enough Atari games, you start to know. 9.4 NS copy, only one on the Wada Pop report, pushing over $1,000 on Frankenstein. Very cool. We're still going. We got a bids on this one. Welcome in, Viridian Waves.
Fair warning.
Love from the UK. Yo, let's go, Ethan. Right back at you from Canada, my guy.
Next lot. $340. $360.
The other Data Age games are common to uncommon. Yeah, it was just one of those developers where if I saw a cartridge, it was like, oh, hey, Data Age. You know what I mean? Like, Data Age stood out is basically just the way I can put it. $1,375 for Frankenstein. Frogger, 9.8 A++.
$40.
This Frogger will be interesting. Is this like an early print copy of the game? It doesn't say early first print or anything in the description, and I just don't know enough about general variants for this stuff to know if this Frogger is like... you know what I mean.
Fair warning.
Not a first print on the Frogger?
Next lot.
Oh, just because we haven't had 9.8 A++ in a while. No, I don't believe we had. Like, I can't remember the last time we've seen a 9.8 A++. July 4th, I guess over a year ago, $396. So like 550 is actually up from the last time we saw a Frogger back in July 2023. So we talk about Atari, who the hell is buying this stuff? The price of Frogger is actually higher than it was last year. I don't know who's buying it, man. Atari to the moon.
$800.
Frogger 2, 3 deep. Unopened, qualified. I don't know what's qualified about this. $575 here for the 6.5. This is Zonix, Double Ender Zonix, another company you always had to keep your eyes open for. 9.4 A++, almost $1,000 on this too. Man, the average floor price of games in this auction is actually going to be quite high.
$440.
Like, we've sold 28 games so far for $18,000. The average price here, like the floor price for this stuff, is far more impressive than I anticipated tonight. $937 here for Ghost Manor Spike's Peak. Here's G.I. Joe Cobra Strike, 9.8 A++, pushing its way up over 500 bucks. The Double Ender Zonix video is adults only? Really? Or which one? This one?
Fair warning.
We are watching you in the car and eating Chick-fil-A? Yes! Yes! That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
$550.
Adam, I just understood your joke.
$600.
I just understood your joke, Adam. Went right over my head. My brain was not looking for that double ender right there. But yes. Yes, I do suppose that is adults only, isn't it? We got to go back to the frickin' beat 'em and eat 'em conversation. You think one of those Froggers sold for $10,000 in 2021? Oh my god, dude. Was that right after D-Rob was on Pawn Stars? is that anywhere in that timeline? I remember D-Rob was on there with Frogger on Pawn Stars. Everyone talks about Pat the NES Punk being on Pawn Stars, but the real celebrity is D-Rob Gaming. Around that time, Jesus. $812 for G.I. Joe Cobra Strike.
$650.
Here's another play-around game. This one's called Gigolo. A 2-in-1 game. It has Bachelor and Gigolo on it.
Fair warning.
By the company Play-Around. And Play-Around is not Mystique. That was the other company, Swedish Erotica. This is a different company, also making adult-only games. $750 for this one. It's crazy. It's crazy. Here's Glib. 9.6A+. First time at Heritage. I'm sorry, I'm just reading because I know of Glib. Like, I've heard of this. This has been a rare as fuck game for a very long time. 2 copies on the Wada Pop report. Only game published by board game manufacturer Seltro and Writer. Board game puzzler with common elements to Scrabble. Glib is pushing its way up over $1,500. Closing at $1,625. Yeah, I just remember hearing about Glib. Yeah, Glib was $500 15 years ago. Yes. That's what I mean, Jason. Like, it's kind of crazy how relatively speaking, Atari games were so expensive back in like 2006 to 2011. I feel like that really was the heyday. Maybe 2012, you know, maybe go 2004 to 2012, right? Like, Atari shit was all the rage, man. You had those air raid sales, Red Sea Crossing, like, those were the grails, selling for 5 figures in, like, 2010. Gravatar, another Atari Club exclusive game, VGA 90 for $1,000. Hero, 9.6A++. Highest graded hero they've ever offered here at Heritage. Pushing its way over $1,000 here, too. What does an adult-only Atari game even look like? It looks as shitty as you think, Trevor. They look as bad as you would expect. A lot of imagination has to go into those.
$1,100.
It's the same company, it basically just changed names. I was wondering why it looked so familiar, Danger D. You've been playing Fire Emblem Echoes on the 3DS the whole, like, 5-hour car ride? What the hell are you guys doing 5 hours? Chick-fil-A, Greg streaming a 5-hour car ride. Just driving in circles. Driving in circles so you can catch the whole stream. I don't want to miss a minute.
Next lot.
Don't sleep on the Coleco Zonix coming up later. Gosh. How am I not supposed to sleep on individual games in this auction? Like, I'm sleeping in the whole auction. Hero, $1,500 for it. Jawbreaker, 9.2. Also from the William Shatner. Man, I want to keep saying William Shatner collection, but it is not William Shatner's collection. Jawbreaker pushing its way up over almost $1,000 on this too.
$750.
Tiger Vision Games had great cover art. Yeah, Tiger Vision, another one of those publishers you had to keep your eyes open for. That is, like I said, right? You can tell when something doesn't look right. When something looks rare on Atari. You can just tell, man. Like, the cover art just breaks the mold. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it's an Atari game, right?
$600.
Like, something looks off about it. Jawbreaker goes for $875. Here's Night on the Town, 85+. Another double ender from Play Around here. Man, there's probably like every single adult-only game here at this auction. It's kind of nuts. It's also nuts seeing just how many there are. Please sleep on Meteorites, you want it?
Fair warning.
Where's the Meteorites coming up? I don't even think I know that game on Atari. Or is it on Coleco or something? I don't see it here on in the Atari portion. Tonight's auction also sponsored by Heritage Auction, so huge thanks to you guys being here. Huge thanks to Heritage sponsoring. I got the final dates settled there for the upcoming consignments. Let me just bring it open here. I updated my little consignment sheet. If you need to see it, if you're ever like, oh, what's coming up, you can just type it into Google, or I have the document in the description of every single video. So Signature auction, consignments, closed, done. November signature is locked and loaded, so hope to see you guys there in November. There's another Pioneer, man, I think there's one coming up in January, March, May next year. There's another Pioneers auction next year, but to close out the year here, Japanese Video Game Showcase, Power of PlayStation, Nintendo 8 to 64-bit, and PC Showcase. The PC guys, you're getting another auction coming January 2024, so if you want to get into any of those, reach out sooner rather than later. Consignment deadlines are always fast approaching. And of course, always taking quality consignments for the weekly auctions right here on YouTube every single Tuesday. Huge thanks to them sponsoring. Huge thanks to you guys showing up for the Atari auction tonight. Missing the most affinity. Oh, do they not have Custer's?
Fair warning.
It's funny, I was waiting to talk about that game, Adam, just because Custer's Revenge is fucking unhinged. Right? Like, that is just, it is unhinged that video game exists. I can't really even talk about it because it is just so, like, it's insane. That's one for the Google, right? You can pop that one into Google. Like, what do you do in Custer's Revenge? Like I said, it's the wild, wild west, man. You could do fucking anything back then.
Fair warning.
London Blitz. Again, speaking of games that just don't look like they belong, 9.6 A++ here by the Avalon Hill Video Game Company, pushing its way to $800.
Fair warning.
Crypto Esquire, you own Custer's Revenge. You're going to an apartment that was far away, then we tried to get food somewhere, also before Chick-fil-A, but they had fire and we couldn't get our food after waiting 25 minutes. What? My God. Why'd they have a fire? The whole place is on fire and you guys are just patiently sitting there waiting for your food. 9.2 A+ Mario Bros. Early production copy. That's why it's exploding in price here and like pushing up to $8,000. Looking for $8,750. Highest graded copy they've ever sold at Heritage Auctions of an early print Mario. That's why we're seeing a fight here. That's why we're now pushing over $9,000, almost $10,000 on the Mario Bros. Over $10,000, looking for $11,000. Early print Mario's 9.2 A+. Also from the William collection there. The guy did right. The guy did right to buy a Mario Bros. Almost $15,000. Jason, I see you had a guess there of $15,000. Currently looking for $15,000 on early print Mario. Atari 2600. Kind of freaking nuts. This is about the only game you'd care about? I think a lot of people are like that. Right? I think for a lot of people with Atari, with pre-Nintendo, they're just going to buy other Nintendo stuff. Donkey Kong, Mario, stuff like that. $13,750. Oof.
Fair warning.
It's big, man. That is big. The 9.0 A+ back in August sold for $13,750. So the WADA 9.0 and the CGC 9.2 just sold for the exact same price. A couple months in between the auctions. I think this was at a showcase auction. Yes. Or a signature, sorry. The WADA copy sold at a signature. The CGC sold at a showcase. Might be an effect on the prices there. But fuck, man. $14,000 for it. Nothing to slouch at there. And here's the later print copy, right? If you're like, oh, what makes the later print, the early print copy? It's very easy to tell the difference, like once you actually see them a couple times. The box is completely different. But again, if you don't see them all that often, you might not realize how blatantly different the box is. Basically, just, you know, that big-ass red banner, that is the later print copy. Masters of the Universe, 85+ He-Man there, going for $1,187.50. Millipede, 9.2 A++. What were you saying, Evan? This is Pop 1. Oh, this is an early print. Pop 1, CGC 9.2 A++. So this is actually something? When compared to the more common later ones, we've had the pleasure of offering several later. First time. Should I bid? Do I just bid because Evan said this is something special?
You've been outbid.
Early production copy of Millipede. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know enough. But I'm glad you pointed it out, Evan, because I don't know if anyone realized. Like, it's tough, man. It's tough. Now we're seeing, you know, now we're seeing it take off. Have you ever seen any CGC sealed Korean copies on there? You got a CGC 9.9 Korean Pokemon White? Don't know what you should sell it for? You're on your own with that one, man. You start grading regions that are, like, you know, so far away from NTSC. You are on your own for that one, man. I don't know if anyone wants a Korean Pokemon game. You sell it to someone in Korea. It's just getting too esoteric for me, you know? He-Man going for $1,200 there. Millipede did eventually shoot its way up to $300. Apparently it's a rare first print. I just don't know enough about it. You think that He-Man was a great cross candidate? It could be. It's honestly so hard to say, Hamster. Like, you guys might have saw, I cracked open my Donkey Kong VGA 80 Plus. With the WADA discount, you can save 30% with WADA games right now. It's extended until October 17th as well. The code is cheat code. I'll just put it in the chat here. Saving 30% on getting stuff graded is really good. I'm not sponsored by WADA. I don't give a fuck who you grade with, but like, if you're gonna grade with WADA, right now, you can save yourself 30%. So I'm smashing open a bunch of my games. I'm going through a lot of stuff, looking for stuff that could 9.8, looking for stuff that, you know what I mean? Trying to optimize. And man, even looking at VGA 85 plus or looking at VGA 90, the amount of variance you see between 85 plus copies, the amount of variance that you see on VGA 90s, kind of sucks, dude. It kind of sucks. Like, you know, you have VGA 90s that could be a 9.8 A++. You're going to have VGA 90s that are like a 9.6 A+. And same with 85 plus, you know, you're going to have some that are like a 9.2 A++. You're going to have some that are a 9.8 A+. I spent like 4 hours looking at a lot of graded games yesterday. And, yeah. It pissed me off, the amount of variance I saw.
Fair warning.
Miner 2049er 937.50. Also Tiger Vision, like someone said earlier, the Tiger Vision box art is like that's really good box art for the year, right? Like that looks like modern ass box art. That's 1984 right there. Selling for $1,250 on Miner 2049er Volume 2, $1,000 to number 1. Jesus. Mr. Dew's Castle. I think this is, oh, it's a CIB. I was gonna say this game's been rare forever. 9.2 CIB here. I'm surprised it's not sealed. Jeez. Man, isn't 425 like cheap? Isn't this cheap, honestly? $425? I feel like this cost $425 like 12 years ago, 15 years ago. Because you could never find Mr. Dew's Castle. $425. Frick, it's crazy. It's a great price, yes, cheap. Yeah, just stood out. It stood out, just given how rare the hell it was. Mrs. Pac-Man 9.4 A+ here. This is an early print copy as well with the Super Arcade graphics little thing there. Easily the highest graded copy of early production Miss Pac-Man they've ever sold here.
Fair warning.
You're just basing it based on the front and back pics of the He-Man? Gotcha. Did I hear the outcome of the Carl Jobst case? No, but I did go down a rabbit hole of reading like an everyday frickin' report. There's someone who's like chronicling each day of the Carl Jobst trial, like Carl Jobst, Billy Mitchell. If you care about that, if you like Google the Carl Jobst trial, you should be able to find, like the guy has notes and is like, he's wrote out, you know, thousands and thousands of words following the entire trial every day. Of like, Billy is asked this question, this is how he replies, Billy does this, Carl says this, like, you can, if you give a shit, you can read the whole goddamn thing. And I went down that rabbit hole. 4 a.m. at bed, not able to sleep, I found myself reading the goddamn trial. It's interesting.
$1,600.
I assume Carl will have a video on that soon enough. Mrs. Pac-Man, the Atari 2600, the early print copy, is pushing its way at almost $2,000 here. $1,875. Aren't all of those prices beating any recorded prices for every single item? No. Not quite that good tax money. The thing about Atari 2600 is that, like, before we had the Mario 64 explosion in 2021, Atari was going fucking nuts in like 2020, 2019. So a lot of this stuff is going to be like, you know, Miss Pac-Man, I think that might be a record right there, 1,875. A lot of this stuff has probably never been on Heritage before, but like, some of this stuff has sold just for stupid prices back in like 2019. A lot of it's doing very well, but yeah, there's... Atari exploded just like everything else did. Oink! 9.88 plus for Activision. There's some incredible box art. $450 there for Oink. Outlaw 9.0 NS here.
100, 100, 100, 200, 200, 300, 400, 400, 5.
Yo, you won the Mr. Dew's Castle, Adam. There we go. You're someone who should appreciate that. You're someone who should appreciate that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I assume you either, like, is this an upgrade for you, or have you just never bought one over the years? Because it feels like a game you probably would have cared about, you know, years and years and years and years ago. Outlaw, the 9.0 is pushing. Highest graded copy of just 2 of this variant on the Wada Pop report. Pushed its way to $875. Nuts.
$900.
Thanks for the insight.
Tax money! The €5.99, dude. That's huge. Huge, man. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Any other questions? Feel free, man. I'm here to, you know, I'm here for the next hour, probably. So, appreciate it, dude. Very kind. This out of control here is a frickin' CIB, man. That is CIB, again by the Avalon Hill Video Game Company. 7.5 box, 9.8 cart, 9.4 manual, over $1,000. That's still a deal, you think, too. Whew. Jeez. Pac-Man, 9.2A plus, 1987 version of the game. Should be a late print copy of Pac-Man, right? What's my go-to drink for these live streams? Either water, a bubbly, today's protein. But that's generally what I always drink. Some days, the signature auction, I might bust out an energy drink, you know. We might have Monster on deck for a signature auction. But generally speaking, water, protein, or a bubbly. 30% off Wada, it's fine, but the shipping is expensive. Oh yeah, the shipping to Canada is crazy. On a 15-game order, Thomas, I just paid 160 US return. The shipping sucks. The shipping sucks, dude. But
$380. $420.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I missed all your messages there about 85 plus. What the heck were you guys saying about it? That I went through all my games. 85 plus has some huge variants.
Fair warning.
85 plus should be really good because it enters the gold level, but there's just too much variance. Anywhere from 9.0 A plus to 9.8 A plus. Yeah, exactly, HW. I agree with you fully. Genuinely, anywhere from 9.0 A plus to 9.8 A plus is what you're going to see with 85 plus. It's like, in general, they're nice, but I do think that this hobby, in general, might overvalue the 85 plus. And I think it's because, you know, Wada had some really questionable grades that were very, like, you know what I mean? During the boom period, Wada grading was, people were, I think the 85 plus right now, people hold it at too high of a, regard, is what I would say.
$140.
I think everyone just expects 85 plus to be like damn near mint, and it just isn't. It just isn't. Yeah, you're still rolling the dice with an 85 plus. It's a nice game for the most part, but like, no, Greg, stop. Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, after looking at like 30-40 games last night, the amount of stuff I had disappointed, it was just like, man, you know, games that I was really excited, like, oh, I own this in 85 plus, that's so cool. Then I look at it and it's like, oh, great, it's just like, it's a classic 9.4, you know? Yeah, I'm just complaining now. Party Mix! Went for $550 there, I just appreciate that cover art. Pengo 9.28 for $550. Piece O Cake 9.2 NS for $475. This just looks rare as hell again. Muppets in Space, Pigs in Space, starring Miss Piggy. 9.8 A+. Highest graded copy of they've ever offered, only second time to even offer it at auction. Last time it sold was back in 2021. See, this is what I was speaking about, right? With Atari going crazy. We're looking at this Muppets game, right? 9.8 A+ is pushing its way over $1,000, and you're like, man, that's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good for a Muppets Atari game. But back in 2021, a 9.6 A+ sold for almost $2,300, right? This just sold for $1,000 less than its record price sale. So, you know, Atari's doing very well tonight, I think, relatively speaking, but like...
$190.
You think majority is 9.6 A+? Yeah, I'd argue. I would just argue against you. I would argue against you.
Fair warning.
I would like I think you're gonna swing closer to 9.4 just with an average 85+.
$10.
DVD case? I think you're gonna 9.6. I think you're gonna swing closer to a 9.6 average, 9.6 A+ with like DVDs and stuff. Cardboard? Maybe I'm just disillusioned, man. Maybe I'm just disillusioned. But maybe I'm just gonna be known as a VGA hater. Maybe that's where I need to go here. Piggies in Space, $1,250. Pitfall 2, 9.4 A++, $225. Poker Plus by Telegames, 7.5 NS. This looks like an adult-only game, but I don't think it is. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just a very...
$800.
A very normal casino game, but it looks like an adult casino game. 7.5 NS pushing its way over $1,000. Jeez, man, Telegames doing very well. These are only through Sears, I believe, or the Sears public version. Fuck, what is the story of Telegames? Telegames is the Sears brand, but I think these are just repurposed games, basically. Like, essentially the same game, but like Sears slapped their label on it. And I think Target also has their own label of Telegames. But I can't remember now well enough. Here's another Telegames, this one being Pong Sports 6.5. I think that's how it goes. But I just can't remember now. I'm so far out of the Zellers? Sorry, Zellers? Target?
$170.
It's the exact same game as the Atari version, just a different label put on it from Sears. Yeah. I think there's Zellers or Target has like Canadian ones. Sears insisted on selling products with their own name back then. Yes, some are the same game, but they did have a couple of exclusives. Sears was Telegames.
$220.
You feel like Kirby after all that food. That's how you know you ate a proper meal. That's a good meal right there. Zellers had it. Okay, so Zellers in Canada. Gotcha. Yeah, because I, as a proud Canadian, would be buying Zellers exclusive titles. I still have some in my collection, the Zellers exclusives. Again, it's the same game with a different label on it. I'm pretty positive, but yeah. Like I said, man, they were just doing shit back then.
Next lot. $190.
What killed me a lot, Big Box Game Shop, this is the last thing I'll say, is I have like some 85 plus PS2 GameCube games, and like, I expected the seal to be kind of nice on them, but like the amounts of scuffs and scratches that were just obvious on like a Pokemon XD, right? I have an 85 plus, and it was like, fuck man, if I cross this, like, I was worrying about an A seal rating. Like, it probably wouldn't, right? It would probably be 9.6, 9.8 A plus, but like, as far as an 85 plus goes, just look like shit.
Wasn't aware the WADA sale got extended, glad I tuned in. Gonna submit a batch of Apollo Justice copies. Here's a $5, put it towards WADA or drinks.
Knee-High Park, followed by Fletch Tech. Coming into the Greg gang, my guy. Thank you. Knee-High Park with the $4.99. Thank you, dude. That's huge. That's huge. Very generous. I appreciate it. And Fletch, welcome into the Greg gang. Welcome, welcome, my guy. Porky's 9.2 there went for $875. Pong Sports, one of the lower selling games in the auction, actually, at $300. Ram It. I've never seen this before. right? Like I've never seen this before. $600 for this. Rampage 9.2A+. I think Rampage always sells really well. Again, right? Some people, their only engagement with pre-Nintendo stuff is buying franchises, buying games that are already, you know, established also on other consoles. You worked for Zellers back in the day, like 2012. Let's go. Let's go, Tim. You were trying to steal that poker? I mean, the poker still sold. Oh no, poker did well, sorry. Yeah, poker went over $1,000. Jeez. Rampage 9.2A plus $600. You're assuming the boxes were quite nice in that case. How it goes when they graded are combined, but you're right. VGA has a reputation of having very nice seals on 85 plus. Yeah, like it was PS2 and GameCube, right? So like they were probably going to 9.8. You know, a little divot here, there, whatever. on an awful day, I guess it would have been a 9.6, but like 9.6A plus seemed far more likely than 9.8A plus. And that just like, yeah, 85 plus is supposed to be a really nice seal, right? That's how I hold it in my head too. I was just freaking disappointed, man. Game Room Granny! Welcome in. Welcome to the Greg Gang. Very happy to have you here. Thank you very much for that. It goes a long way. That's $2.99 a month right there. It's free, right? That's free. Less than a cup of coffee. It's too cheap not to sign up, in my opinion. But hey, you know, maybe I'm a little bit biased. Rampage went for $600 there. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. 9.6 NS there, going for $525. Here is another Panda game. Scuba Diver. 7.5 on this one. First time offering it at Heritage. It doesn't say what the pop report is of it, because, you know, CGC doesn't have pop reports. Pushed its way to $550, though. I almost think these Panda games are selling a bit soft. Wada charged you $70 for shipping only 5 games? Whew. Thomas, the Wada shipping has optimization. There is optimization with that. Let me find it. There are certain numbers of games that you should send to WADA, especially if you're an international customer, so that you can save money. $700. Because they ship out in what they call these little buckets. Let me find it here.
Next lot.
Rampage N64 seemed like the epitome of cool to a 6-year-old in the 90s.
Elijah! Let's go, dude, to the $4.99. Yeah, Rampage 64 was crazy. Rampage 64 was crazy. Here. How come let me zoom this out.
Next lot. $55.
Okay, so you want to ship like 3 to 6. So you're in the 3 to 6 bucket, so you are fine. But you could have shipped 6 games for the exact same price. You know, 7 to 10, 11 to 15, 16, 20. Basically, like, you never want to ship 4 or 5 games, right? Ship 6. You never want to ship 8 or 9. Ship 10. It's good to be cautious of these shipping numbers, especially for international customers. Because that 3 to 6, 7 to 10, 11 to 15, it changes the price a lot. Just as a heads up on that. So if you're playing around with shipping and stuff, yeah. I just purposely did a 15 game with Jeremy because, you know, it's the most optimal shipping price. Kind of sucks, but best you can do. Seahawk, 8.5 Blue Seal, $812.50 there. Another Panda game. Sorcerer's Apprentice, 9.08 plus for $750. And this was, yeah, Seahawk for $812.50. Space Canyon, another Panda computer game there, 9.4 for $812.50. Into Space Invaders, 9.08 plus, mid-production copy of the game. I think we always see the red box, really late productions, right? And Elijah, thank you very much there. I was in the middle of a little story, so.
Next lot. $550. $600.
I was in my little story, so I had to finish that there.
$800.
Spider-Man, 9.88 plus plus. We just had a copy sell on Tuesday, right? The Tuesday copy sold for $906. Getting a little bit of a boost here on the, a little bit of a boost from the showcase auction. Pushing it to over $1,000. There you go. The power of a showcase auction, right? $906 is what it sold for on Tuesday. This copy should be the exact same, pushing its way up to $1,100. Yeah, isn't first print on Space Invader basically impossible? If I'm not mistaken, Game Gallery, does first print on this even exist? Spider-Man 1062. You love to see Spidey back over $1,000. That's the good stuff, right? That's the good stuff. Some people are only down like 80% on it now. Not so bad. Springer TigerVision 9.6. I think this is first time at Heritage as well, and like one of the only copies on the Wada Pop Report. Again, published by TigerVision, just insanely rare.
Fair warning.
Looking for $800 on it.
$750.
And I really do wonder, right? Like, so many of these games here are so many of these games are like Pop 1, Pop 2, Pop 3. Like, they probably will stay that way. I assume a lot of this stuff is going to stay insanely rare. But, like, it does make you wonder, if there were 5 copies, 10 copies, would prices just collapse on a lot of these?
$900.
Like, a lot of this stuff is held together by such absolute scarcity. It's kind of wild. Like, it's wild to think, like, what if, you know, this copy's going to sell for over $1,000 now? What if we had another copy next month? How much would Springer sell for if we sold another copy in a month? It won't happen. It's rare as heck. But I wonder about the market. Is more niche.
Fair warning.
Finally catching you live in your vacation to like the stream. Kill it.
$500.
I am glad you are spending your vacation time in my stream right now for the Atari auction. You could be on vacation, laying on a beach, traveling. I don't know what you're doing.
$700.
But you're a real one. Spending time with me in an Atari showcase auction. I appreciate you.
$200.
Springer selling for $1,125. What exactly is this show? Are you buying stuff? Sometimes. Sometimes I buy stuff, RJ. This is a high-end video game auction. We're seeing how it does, talking about market, talking about Atari, talking about buying, selling, all that good stuff. If you're into video game collecting, this is the highest end side of said hobby. Atari isn't really my jam, so you're not going to see me bid on much stuff tonight. But like, yeah, I also buy and sell graded video games. So that's what this show is. But can I interest you in a Springer for Atari 2600? One of only a few known copies to exist, you see. Can I interest you in that? Maybe you're a Springer guy. Maybe you're more of a Spy Hunter guy. Published by Bally back in the day, $1,625. You're trying to buy Tengen Tetris. This is not the right auction. Not the right auction, unfortunately.
$190.
Tengen Tetris does show up every now and then, but you're not going to find that tonight.
$20.
Better to catch you this way than a night at Germany. I love it.
$260.
You only need 2 people to bid it up. It's true. You only need 2 people. But are there 3 people who want Springer? Right? Are there more than 2 people who are like willing to pay $1,000 on this?
$300.
It does make me wonder just how much density the Atari market has. But with such absolute rarity, it's hard for the prices on this stuff to fall, right? Who knows when we'll ever see another copy of these come up for sale. So it's not like the price is going to go down, in quotations. Maybe on paper or hypothetically some prices will move, but a lot of this stuff simply isn't going to have comps. 9.68 plus Star Strike. The Atari version of this, I guess, is rare. Because, yeah, they're saying they've sold the Intellivision version before, which is what I'm thinking of as well. Because in my head, this is a nothing title. $450 though. I guess it's rare to find on Atari 2600. Easier to find on Intellivision. Star Wars, the arcade game. 9.2 glue seal here.
$380.
Pushing its way up over $400. Did anyone buy that case? The very first game in the auction? The 6-pack of the Star Wars Atari game. Did anyone end up buying that?
$700, $700, $800, $800, $900, $950, $1,000, $1,100.
You wish you had bought the case? This one is super rare. Oh, you were like 10 seconds late? Hey. Hey, Hamster, I was like 10 seconds late too. Yeah, this is the rare Star Wars game, you know. I think the other two, are there 3? Maybe there's 3 or 4 Atari Star Wars games, but yeah, this is the rare one. Star Wars the arcade game pushing its way up over $1,500 here.
$400.
That 6-packs was Atari Computer, not 2600. Does that mean it's trash, Adam? Is that how should I take that comment?
$1,500.
I assume it just means it's a lot less desirable, hey?
Fair warning. Next lot.
$360.
For $750, you're still getting all 6 graded for like 1,000 shipped, likely in high grade. Yeah, I like that's kind of my thought too. It's Star Wars, you can probably just sell them to someone, but $1,750 for Star Wars the arcade game. Whew. Yeah, that's big. That's big. It's kind of interesting, hey? A lot of this stuff has high floors, but we're not seeing super high ceilings. Like even the really rare, really good stuff, like it kind of caps out at $2,000, hey? 1,500, a little bit over 1,000. Like it's a really high floor price on this stuff, but we aren't seeing $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on many of these games. Like barely any of them at all, actually. Now that I think about it,
Fair warning.
everything's like right in that $500 to $1,500 range. Like Mario, obviously, right? $13,000 there. That's fucking nuts.
$75, $85, $90. 95, 100.
Has anything gone for $2,000 even? I thought there was something.
100.
Just trying to quickly look at prices here. $1,500 on Hero. That's kind of a big one.
$240.
$1,875 on the Pac-Man. That's a big one. That kind of caps out here at $2,000, hey? Seems like a soft ceiling. I would even say like $1,000 is a pretty soft ceiling for the vast majority of this stuff. Kind of interesting. Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, 9.88 plus or $906. Here's Star Gunner, 9.2 on this. Yeah, Mario sold for big money. Mario was big money. That Miss Pac-Man, to you, that should be like a $10,000 game. Whew. Not in this day and age. I mean, it probably was like back in, you know, whenever the heck, but not in this day and age. No, just doing a quick check here of the football game. Got Bucks and Falcons here. Checking fantasy. We did a Discord fantasy this year. If you're someone who plays fantasy and yeah, next year you want to get into the Discord fantasy league, like please join the Discord. Let me know you're interested. It'd be great to put together a very serious Discord fantasy league. So if you're into that, let me know for next year. We have a 12-man this year, and it's pretty good. So just taking a little look-see here at how things are shaking out.
Fair warning.
And Star Gunner, 9.2, pushing his way up to over $450. If that Miss Pac-Man went on a floor in a signature, you bet it would go crazy. Like... I don't know, Hamster. I don't know. I almost fear with some Atari stuff, like, you know, with NES variants, black box stuff, there was a massive wave of, like, education that had to happen, right? Sticker seals, hang tabs, codes, all that stuff. Hey, this is a Telegames exclusive, Adam is telling me. One of just 2 copies on the Wada Pop Report, exclusive to Telegames, meaning this is like a Sears published game, pushing its way up over $700. Very cool to know. Yeah, we had to get that education period, right? Of everyone learning what the hell the black box variants are. I feel like Atari needs that push. Like, even if you put Miss Pac-Man on the floor, are bidders educated enough to know what the hell they're buying? Do people know that's an early print? Because, I mean, I look at that Miss Pac-Man, I didn't know. It goes over my head. I don't know Atari variants well enough to point out. And Miss Pac-Man should be a more popular game that people give a shit about. But I just don't know if everything exists out there. Yeah, like, right, with proper write-ups. Proper videos. People who want to, like, push the information. But even with that, like, that requires you to read the write-up for the game before you know the game is super rare. So if you're just browsing the auction, I'm swiping right past Miss Pac-Man, right? I'm swiping right past Miss Pac-Man. 750 bucks for Steeplechase Subscan, 9.88++, for 868 bucks. Here's another Panda one, 8.0 on Tank Brigade.
750
Tank Brigade on Panda. All these Panda games are ending right in this $800-900 range. Like, I'm just gonna assume Tank Brigade is also gonna end
$800.
where we're going. We might go for $1,000 bucks. $1,000 on Tank Brigade?
Fair warning.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man everyone knows, right? And that's why, like you'd think more people would be aware of variants, or that the variant knowledge would be more talked about, or more public, or more people would be excited. I don't know.
500, 600, 700, 800, 900,
You know what I mean, Hamster? Like, I'm not outright disagreeing with you, I just don't know how we get there. 937.50 for Panda. This is cool. Tapper has always been an expensive game too. Bali Midway here. 9.2 on Atari 2600. Yeah, it's always been expensive. It's always been rare. Pushing its way up to almost $3,000 here. Looking for $3,000 on Tapper. Oof, only second time at Heritage. Much better grade than the last time it sold. Looking for $3,200 now. Miss Pac-Man, even though Pac-Man games are still made, isn't in popular gaming zeitgeist like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and other relevant properties. I agree with that as well.
2,800.
Agreed with that fully as well. I mean, straight up, and I mean, maybe you agree with this, Hamster, maybe you don't. I would much rather just own an early print Pac-Man than Miss Pac-Man.
Fair warning.
I would even say Miss Pac-Man was a better game. But like...
Next lot.
Hey, Elijah, I was just about to say the N64 Namco Museum did include Miss Pac-Man. And that's why I think Miss Pac-Man's a better game. It was just better. It played better. I don't know. It seemed better. But Miss Pac-Man, like, I would just rather have Pac-Man, you know. Call me a dude being a dude, right? I don't want a video game based on a woman. I need Pac, bro. I don't want to play Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. I'm not interested. Tapper for $3,250 there. Jesus. Yeah, that's good. That's good. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe 6.0 here from Telegames again. Man, pushing. Jesus Christ. Only copy on the Wada Pop Report. Pushing its weight almost $1,000 here.
$50. $900.
Do I have brain rot that I see you guys talking about PDF and like my brain goes to PDF file? Like how people talk about child predators on the internet? Like, is that a sign that I have actual brain rot? My God.
Fair warning.
I was like, oh my gosh, why are you guys talking about that? What are you guys talking about over there? But no, you're talking about actual PDF files. I need to log off, man.
Fair warning.
I need to frickin' log off more often.
Next
You went 0 for 2 on the games you wanted tonight. What 2 were you after?
$120.
The Tic-Tac-Toe pushed its way to 1,187. Adam, maybe you can say something? You have the 3D Tic-Tac-Toe original painting. Jesus Christ, man. The same artist did Adventure. 1,187.50 for 6.02. Like, very bad grade on this one, relatively speaking. Still $1,200. Here's Wabbit by Apollo. Apollo is another publisher you always had to keep your eyes open for, just a very uncommon one. And the cartridges stood out. Obviously, the box art also stands out. So it was like, again, right? If you're scanning a lot of 50 games, it's like, hey, there's ones published by Apollo. And you had to look at it a little bit closer. Yeah, Apollo games are cool. Most people who got a little bit deeper into Atari should be familiar with Apollo. They aren't like ultra rare to see. You're going for Miss Pac-Man and Tapper. Man, I'll be honest, dude. With how highly you talk about Miss Pac-Man, I'm surprised you didn't push it a little bit more. Surprised you didn't, you know, just chuck a couple more bids on there. I really don't think, you know, just based on the sales on everything else, I don't think Miss Pac-Man would have got bid up much past like $2,500. Obviously a lot of money, like you're setting a record price, arguably, but Wabbit going for $812.50 into Wall Ball. Sports Illustrated. What? Avalon Hill Video Game Company. Every game by this Avalon Hill is rare as fuck, it seems. What does Sports Illustrated have to do with this? Official endorsement by Sports Illustrated magazine. Damn, that's cool. Pushing its way to like almost $1,700 here. 9.8 A++ copy. Again, right? Speaking about crazy Atari stuff, this Wall Ball just sold for $1,625, and it's like, wow, that's pretty good. What the hell is Wall Ball? Sold for over $2,000 back in 2021. 9.6 A+. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. You can't even remember all the insane sales that took place over the past years, hey? The brain can't even remember them.
$95.
Man, frickin' Atlanta.
$140.
Oh my Atlanta. They're looking good out there. I think I took the Bucks to win this game too, so like they need to get cooking. Baker and the boys. Or I guess the defense needs to do something. Yar's Revenge, $575. Here is Meteorites. Hey, this is that game that other guy was talking about. What the hell is this? 85 plus Atari 5200. Wow, that's why I've never seen this before.
Fair warning.
Pushing its way to only 400. Sealed copies are highly collectible. 3 on the VGA Pop Report. First time at Heritage. Are any of you guys into 5200, 7800 stuff? It's one of those instant regrets. You should have been willing to go 3,000 on it. Yeah, I hear you, dude. I hear you, dude.
$420.
I hear you, dude. It's 2024, bro. You can be yourself and collect all the Miss Pac-Man things. No shame. Yeah, equality has hit video game collecting. You're a very progressive man, Skate Soup. You're right. I shouldn't be ashamed to collect Miss Pac-Man. I should be proud to collect Miss Pac-Man. Thank you, Skate Soup. I think we all learned something today. I think we can all walk away from this Atari auction just, you know, a little bit better people. Meteorites went for $400. Danger D. You won your game, dude. You won your game, dude. No fantasy league for NBA, Cambrook. I don't follow it close enough to play fantasy.
$800.
I'm doing fantasy hockey, NBA, or fantasy hockey, fantasy NFL, fantasy CFL. I just don't follow NBA close enough to want to jump into a league for it. Here's Rent Wars, 9.6 A+. It's 2007. What the hell is this? This some kind of homebrew thing? Number 80, something out of 100. Exceptionally rare sealed copy, highest grade we've ever offered. Sole entry on the Wada Pop Report, originally developed in 1983. The game wasn't released until Atari2600.com published it in 2007. Debuting at that year's Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas. They only made 100 copies. This is number 88.
$2,000.
Does this count as a real game then? Like, isn't this just homebrew? Am I crazy? Released in 2007, graded by Wada. It's a more recent grade. I don't know. To me, it's weird as hell to see in a Wada case. Like it's homebrew at the end of the day, right? Didn't Wada say they stopped grading stuff like this?
$2,600.
Am I crazy? Mario Bros. For the Atari 7800, 9.8 A+ here. Newly graded copy, higher grade than any of the other 8 examples. It's the top copy of Mario Bros. On 7800 across all variants. $3,000 for it. Love to see it. Love to see Mario doing good even on the less popular consoles. Why buy rare games or anything? Just buy frickin' Mario. Meteorites is one of the rarest games on 5200, loose or sealed. So I guess you're saying for $400 it really isn't bad? Is that what you're telling me, Adam? Should Danger D be quite happy with his purchase there? VGA 85 Mario on Atari XE. I've never seen this before. First time at Heritage for this. This is crazy, man.
$1,100.
Mario for the Atari XE computer. 1989 on this one. That's crazy. Pushing its way over $1,000 on this.
Fair warning.
$1,300.
I see Drake London has a concussion too. Fantastic. One of my receivers. You'll love to see it.
$1,400.
Love to see it. Ay, fantasy football, hey? Atari Mario Bros. Pushing its way up to almost $1,700 now. Over $1,700, looking for $1,800. That was your max? You're out of money? You're still in high school? That's dope, Danger D. That's actually so dope, man. Still in high school and you're spending fucking $400 on a 1984 game on Atari 5200 that nobody even knows exists. You're in deep, dude. You're in deep.
Fair warning.
Oh, that's what I like to see. That's my kind of collector right there. $1,875 for Mario Bros. On Atari XE. Yeah, that's neat. It's just neat to see. Anytime there's something that I've literally never seen before, it's just like, man, that's cool. I don't know if it's $2,000 cool, but it's cool. Beam Rider CGC 9.9 A++. Are we in Intellivision now? Yes, making the swap.
$130.
Welcome. Welcome, Intellivision fans. Intellivision is a console I basically never collected for. I did own one. I did own some games. Atari 2600 obviously was the one I did the most. Then ColecoVision. Then Intellivision. But Intellivision just never, I don't know, never appealed to me. Didn't get deep into it at all. Here's Dragonfire by iMagic. 9.6A+. Meteorites is like $200 loose, if you're not mistaken. Oh my gosh. If that's $200 loose, then that's crazy.
$85, $95, $110.
Also, I frickin', oh my god, last night when I was building my bets for this game, Mike Evans to get 2 touchdowns was an 11x. Mike Evans just hit his second touchdown, baby. That hurts. That hurts me a little bit inside. Hurts me just a little bit inside. Mike Evans having himself a day already. Kind of weird there was a Pitfall in the weekly 2 weeks ago and it wasn't put in this auction instead. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Hamster. Sometimes we just see that happen.
Fair warning.
But, yeah, I agree with you. I expected to see Pitfall in this auction just because of how common Pitfall, or not common, just how, like, people want Pitfall. Pitfall is a very... what's the word I'm looking for? Synonymous with Atari?
$220.
Yeah, we'll go with synonymous.
$40.
People like it. It's a very Atari game.
$60.
$175 for Dragonfire with iMagic. Here's Fathom from iMagic. 9.4A+. I don't think any of the iMagic games on Intellivision are like super sought after. This is the first time offering it at... Maybe I shouldn't speak on it. Maybe I shouldn't speak on Intellivision after telling you guys I didn't collect it much. In my head, iMagic doesn't have any super rare games, but maybe I could be wrong. Fathom pushing its way up to almost $300 here. Selling for $312.50. Here's Popeye, 9.6A++. Also Intellivision. Popeye should get some love, hey? Popeye should get some love. Are you digging deep into the Rent Wars gameplay there?
$480.
Is that what you're doing there, Odin? Mr. Big, welcome in.
$460.
I have no idea what Rent Wars is about either. It just struck me as odd that WATA still graded it, given that it's homebrew. I guess maybe someone just had it recased recently, but
Fair warning.
it struck me as WATA still accepting those for grading, despite them, you know, not grading homebrew stuff anymore. But neither here nor there, I don't really care.
$600.
Don't really care either way. What are your thoughts on games like Qbert with huge stickers that graded 9.8A++? Where's Qbert at? Oh man, I think I talked about it already at one of the other auctions, Adam. Like, this shit makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. We often talk about like CGC A++ versus WATA A++. Like it makes no sense to me. Isn't this pen as well? Like this is manual writing here. Right? Like that is, someone penned that.
Fair warning.
They penned this. So the odds of there being box impressions underneath this sticker is also very high. So like, you know, 9.8A++, how in the fuck can you call it a perfect seal grade, right? It doesn't go higher. That's a perfect seal grade. which I get it's not going to be perfect, but like, Qbert doesn't have any goddamn eyes, man. He's just a big dong hanging here.
Fair warning.
How are you going to call that an A++ grade? I personally big time disagree with it. I'm not CGC, I'm not the grading company. That's my opinion on it.
$480.
Popeye, yeah, it got some love. Popeye got some love. Pushed its way up to $750. Here is the Qbert game, 9.8 A++. It's also probably going to get some love.
$500.
CGC needs the A++++. Yeah, like, you need the S seal, right? At that point, you need the S seal rating. But the way stickers are treated in this hobby in general, I find very questionable. Like, I think they are a lot worse than a lot of these grading companies make it out to be. A lot of people also argue, like, the nostalgia of stickers, they're a good thing. I don't know.
$55.
I'm very much anti-sticker,
$65.
but
$75.
I don't know. Like I said, not my call, just my opinion. $625 for Qbert. River Raid, 9.2 A++ on this. Yeah, big stickers equals big love. Yeah, like, you know what they say about a game with a big sticker on it, right? Like, you can expect the game character to have a big dong hanging there.
$220.
That's what you know about a game with a big sticker. River Raid, the 9.2 A++ here. Activision. We are in Intellivision still. Intellivision still.
$260.
Yeah, exactly, right? If you have a super small sticker on there, I get it. I get it. A super small sticker, okay. It can have very little effect, no effect at all, but like... that sticker has manual writing on it.
$300.
Gosh. Nothing you can do. Neither here nor there, I suppose. Blockbuster and Toys R Us stickers are okay to you, but mom and pop stickers suck. Yeah, a lot of people stick, a lot of people keep, nostalgic stickers like that. They'll keep the Blockbusters, KB Toys, Toys R Us. A lot of people do seem to like those ones. I still remove them. Get them off there. Don't want stickers. Shark on Intellivision, 9.8 A++. River Raid sold for $300.
Fair warning.
A small price sticker has some charm. Yeah, you guys like your stickers. I know you guys exist out there. There are some sticker truthers. I'm gonna spread the anti-sticker rhetoric.
$460.
Small end of the period, especially for well-known franchises like EB Games, you understand leaving it there. You do think it should impact the grade or lower it. It's funny because in other hobbies, stickers can even lead you to being qualified. Like, aren't stickers on comics a huge fucking issue?
Fair warning.
Imagine all the seals ruined from attempting to remove stickers for better seal grades and they just handing out A++. Yeah, exactly, right? You're out there trying your hardest to, like, do a nice clean sticker removal. Meanwhile, they'll just slap A++ on there anyway. You like a price sticker on anywhere but the front of the box? I'll just put it right on the guy's face. You've seen people trying to hide dents and scratches using stickers? Yes. Which is also a massive issue, Joe. Now, I don't think that's like a rampant issue to look out for in this hobby, but it's something that can be done. It's something to, like, you should know that exists. So again, we talk about, should a game even be able to be a 9.8 A++ with a sticker when what's underneath the sticker
Fair warning.
is a bit of a wild card. You don't know.
Next lot.
$140.
Just, yeah, something I kind of fundamentally disagree with how the grading companies went about. Worm Whomper from Activision there. Went for $1,125. Man, we're having this philosophical debate here about stickers. Meanwhile, frickin' Worm Whomper selling for $1,100. Imagine GameStop stickers on games in the future are kept for nostalgic reasons. Yeah. Tons of PS2 games, the security sticker on the top will rip the art. Like you said, you don't know. Yeah, it just... This is kind of cool. This is the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module. You use it with the Intellivision and you plug it in, and then there were, like, I think there are 4 games that were specifically made for this. I think.
$360.
I think there's 4 games. It sold like shit. It never took off. But anyways, you plug this into the Intellivision, and then you take the cartridge and you plug the cartridge into it, and then that little box thing will like make extra sound effects and talk to you. There's like a really early cool peripheral for the Intellivision. For some fucking reason, I own one of these, which is why I know what it does. I just have a loose one, but like it's kind of neat.
Next lot.
Like I said, right? If you go down these rabbit holes of like pre-Nintendo stuff, some of this stuff is kind of neat. Just for the novelty of it, right? You're looking at all this stuff, like technology as it was being developed. And that's kind of cool. Aqua Attack 9.2 here. Seal removed, which is why it's a qualified grade. I'm still unopened. But ColecoVision, hey, this looks rare as heck. Aqua Attack is exceptionally hard to find.
$190.
I've never seen this before on Coleco. Pushing its way up over 200 bucks here. Published by Interphase.
$220. $260.
Now Greg is scared that removing his Smash Melee sticker won't improve the grade. Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Fair warning.
You love color touching on the box? Yeah. That's the real strategy, right? Throw some stickers on there. We can hide creases. We can hide rips. We'll get some color touch on there. Like we can just... we'll turn those 6s into 9s, like with this one trick. Game grading companies hate him.
Next lot.
Buy new Greg brand Sharpies now. Aqua Attack, 350 bucks. Campaign 84. This is crazy. For ColecoVision here,
$180.
political simulation challenged players to secure the majority of the vote to become president of the United States. That's fantastic. Surely some of you political guys out there want this, right? 9.4, pushing its way up to 350 bucks here. Imagine the modern remake with Trump. The world's not ready for it. The world's not ready for it. Every time I say melee, you wince inside. Oh yeah, I've been calling it melee since I was a child. You know, it's one of those things that like myself and my brothers would kind of say it as a meme. Instead of saying melee, like we'd say melee. And then it just like, I don't even think about it now. That is just part of my vernacular. Melee is never going away. That is ingrained deep inside of me, deep in my bones. I play Smash Melee.
Next lot.
Almost $600 here for Campaign 84. 575 bucks. Into Zonix, Chuck Norris, Super Kicks. Because of course, Chuck Norris was getting video games back in 1983.
$140.
Pushing its way up to almost $175. It's kind of funny. I'm just going to go on a side note here about Chuck Norris. Because of my age, right? Like I was born in 1993. Chuck Norris jokes were already a thing. You know, everyone knows the punchline Chuck Norris jokes. But actually, like, who Chuck Norris is, or who Chuck Norris was, like, him as a martial artist, him as a fighter, like, was he just a movie star? Like, I don't know anything about Chuck Norris.
$85.
I just know the jokes. Was he just like a Western movie star? Like what? It's kind of weird to say out loud that I know fuck all about Chuck Norris.
$130.
I don't know a goddamn thing.
$190.
You won, Chuck Norris, Adam. Let's go. What, you have like 20, 30 years on me for age, right? Makes sense that you're winning that game. Makes sense that it appeals to you.
$300.
He studied under Bruce Lee, was a real martial artist. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
$340.
That's crazy. Frogger 2 3 Deep, 9.4 here on ColecoVision as well. His claim to fame was getting beat by Bruce Lee.
$80.
Chuck Norris is the greatest human to ever live. Yeah, that's all I know about him. That's all I know. I know he's fucking awesome, right? All I know is that Chuck Norris is awesome. But like, if someone told me he was a movie star, or that he was like the best martial artist in the world, or that he never fought anyone ever, like I don't know. He did compete in karate. He actually fought professional fights. Yeah, that's cool.
Fair warning.
Just look up Walker, Texas Ranger, and you'll get kind of idea of what kind of badass he is.
Next lot.
I mean, that's all I know about him. I know he's a badass. Frogger 2, 3 deep, 687 bucks there. Like, I'm surprised Chuck Norris is only 170 bucks. Like, is this cheap, Adam? You said you picked this up. I'm almost surprised it's like, I don't want to say worthless, but this is one of the lowest selling games in the entire auction. It is a CIB. It's CIB. I did miss that. CIB, so, you know, I get why it's cheaper, but Gustbuster. Sorry, I almost called it Ghostbuster. This is Gustbuster. And remember when I talk about stuff like just looking rare? You know, you start seeing enough of them and you just like, hey, this game looks rare as fuck. Yeah, it is. Married, first time selling here.
$440.
Pushing it to up to 500 bucks.
$480.
It's a horrible game. Famous for his splits in a splish machine ad in old martial arts magazines.
$650.
He did compete in karate as opposed to Arnold and Sly just hitting the gym. Yeah, those are my movie stars. Those are my heroes game gallery. I'm much more of an Arnie and Sly kind of guy. Those are the guys I look up to.
$1,300. $1,500. $1,600.
Yeah, who are you gonna call? Gustbusters. I mean, man, jokes aside, Adam, Gustbusters just broke into the top 10 most expensive games in this auction. Looking for $2,000 now. Game Room Granny, I'm glad you bring up Steven Seagal, because for people who are born in the year, like say you were born in 2007, 2008, you aren't gonna know who or what Steven Seagal is. But you're going to know all of the memes about him. You're going to know, like, the memes about him being fat and being, you know what I mean? Like, that is going to be your Steven Seagal. You're not going to know of the guy who actually, like, you know, what made Steven famous in the first place. And it's just funny. I guess it's just a funny little coincidence, right? Or how time works and perceptions and pop culture and stuff. 9.88++ Gyrus. Pushing its way to 375. Frickin' Chuck Norris was a Gustbuster. 1,875. $1,875 for Gustbuster. Yeah, Steven hasn't aged well. I agree with you on that. What? What? It's only rock and roll. 9.88. I have never seen this before in my life.
Fair warning.
A text-based business simulation where players strove to become rock stars. Also one of the rarest titles for ColecoVision. What?
$950.
That is fucking incredible.
$1,100.
Pushing its way over $1,000. It's only rock and roll for the ColecoVision by Zonix. That's crazy, man. It's like there used to be old rarity guides, which is where I would see so many stuff. I would read the old Atari Age rarity guides, Digit Press rarity guides, and it's always funny when like something like this was never a top 10 rarest game on Coleco. So it probably is insanely rare, right? I've literally never seen it in my life, but because it wasn't on those lists, it wasn't like renowned back in 2011 as being one of the rarest games or whatever when those lists were made, probably like 2004. It just completely went under my radar even. That is insane. 1,750 bucks. James Bond 007, 9.88++. Yeah, now we can just watch James Bond sell for more, right? Because it's James Bond. Pushing its way up over $1,000.
$1,100.
Yeah, James Bond should sell well. I'm pretty sure James Bond has sold well before in the past. This is Coleco, hey?
$1,300.
I'm pretty sure we've seen James Bond sell really strong. Why didn't I get it? Do I have to type in James Bond, actually? James Bond? What? What's going on here? Wada?
Fair warning.
1,000.
Oh, we've seen it on Atari 5200. Have we not seen the Coleco version before?
$1,600.
Looking for $2,000 on it now. First time with Coleco. First time on Coleco. There we go. So I was thinking about this here. This is James Bond on Atari 2600, sold for $6,000 back in September 2022. That's what I was thinking of. $1,875 on James Bond. Yeah, cool to see it on ColecoVision now. Sometimes those sometimes those blend in my brain. Here's Mr. Do's Castle again. We were just speaking about how rare this was back on Atari 2600. Pretty sure it's also rare as heck on Coleco. First time at Heritage Auctions for this as well. Pushing its way to almost $700.
Fair warning.
Pretty sure it's rare as heck here as well anyway.
$700.
There was a prototype James Bond box that sold well. Got graded by who, Adam? Was it WADA? CGC? Oh, here it is. Jesus.
$5.
Yeah, Atari 2600 sample box as well. 6.5A. Went for $3,600. Jeez. That was July 2021. Yeah, James Bond, of course, right? It's just going to sell well. Very well-known stuff. You just subbed on your phone as well? Long overdue? Let's go, Odin. That's another number for the sub count. Like, we need that. We need those. Go on your alt accounts and like the video. Like, we need that. Oils well. 9.0 here. Sierra Online. Late ColecoVision game. Rare Maze title. First time at Heritage. Yeah. So much of this stuff tonight is literally first time at Heritage. I'm sure you've already caught on to that trend of this auction. We only have another 20 games to go here, actually, too. Jeez, almost done. Coming up on another big one that's just going to do well for the sports crossover. One-on-one with Julius Erving and Larry Bird's coming up. Rare is games like Boulder Dash and Wizmath. Are you speaking for... Oh, is Mr. Do's Castle uncommon? Boulder Dash and Wizmath are more rare on Coleco. I think that's what you're saying there. Oils well for $450. Here's the Larry Bird game. Julius Erving. 9.6, no seal. Oh, considered one of the rarest games for Coleco. Jesus Christ, apparently it's also sought after. I didn't realize that. Now, I don't know how much there, I don't know how much weight there is between or behind what Heritage says is like one of the rarest games versus what conventional rarity is. But, yeah, apparently it's rare as heck. Charlie Chuck, I'd love to hear an opinion if you have one on this. Pushing its way to almost $2,000 here. You just sold the Bird vs. Jordan NES 9.4 CIB for almost $1,000. Jesus Christ, Game Gallery.
Next lot.
$160.
Super hard to find this boxed. $1,875 for the 9.6. Yeah, geez. I mean, like, that again, right? Almost $2,000 shoots it almost up to the, like, a top 10 game in this sale, right? Popeye, 9.4. Glue seal on this one.
$200.
You've never seen that, Dr. J? The Microfun is, yes, but the one that was bought by Telegames and are pretty common. There's a cheap version of that one released by Telegames. Gotcha.
$320.
So this is a rare... Is this the early print of it then? Like Microfun came first, is what it sounds like?
$60.
So this first print copy is rare as heck?
$380.
You wanted, but too rich for your blood? You own it CIB? Oh, man. It sucks because there is stuff here where it's like, I'd like to kind of muck around, buy something, have some fun with Atari it would be fun if I could bounce my way in here and purchase something here or there and have some fun. But as I said earlier, with the floor price being like $300, $400, $500 on this stuff, even if I think something's really cool or neat or, like, that would be cool, at the end of the day, it's just low priority. And I just have to prioritize other stuff more. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is, if this stuff was cheaper, I might actually participate. But given the prices, which are pretty serious for the most part, that's why you don't see me bidding. Popeye, the 9.4 going for $1,125. Cuberts, cubes. I'm pretty sure this is also really rare on a Coleco. I think we saw it on 2600. I think it's rarer on 2600. 2 copies have been offered here. This is the highest grade one, 9.8A++. I know Cubert's Cube as a title is just rare as heck. It's probably rare on Coleco as well.
Fair warning.
$1,000.
More Selander CGC games will be coming up in future Tuesday weeklies. Yeah, this, like, the William Selander Collection, like I said earlier, being where a lot of this stuff come from. If you are into this, it's going to be coming to some of the weekly auctions. Just like how we had some of the Dallas-Fort Worth Collection come to the weeklies. So keep your eyes peeled, Atari fans. Keep your eyes peeled on the weeklies. I'll probably have to talk about it on Instagram a little bit, too. I'll have to talk about some of these Atari games, because I'm sure some of them are going to be something special coming up on Tuesdays. We're averaging over $900 a game so far. Yeah, like, Jason, man. It's nuts, dude. As far as showcase auctions go, I know Atari's a meme around here. I know we dunk on the boomers, but, like, as far as showcase auctions go, this is a very strong auction. We are over $100,000 now. 106 games sold, $103,000 worth of Atari, Intellivision, Coleco.
Fair warning. 400.
Sometimes, man, it's hard to even, like, where is all this money coming from? You know? Where is all this money coming from? Sometimes it's just hard to... Robinhood, Zonix, 9.4 A++ on this as well. And I do have to remind you guys, stream is sponsored by Heritage. Huge thanks to you guys being here. Huge thanks to Heritage sponsoring. If you want to get into a showcase auction, there are more coming up at the end of the year. There are more coming up next year as well. You can type into Google, you can type in video games, Heritage Auctions video game calendar. It'll show you everything coming up. There's a link in the description here. I'll just open it up again. Power of PlayStation, Japanese Showcase, Nintendo 8 to 64-bit, PC Showcase. There's going to be another Pioneers next year. There's going to be more 6th-gen Showcase. You want to get into a Showcase auction, I mean, you're seeing how well a lot of this stuff does. This is obviously more premium stuff, good stuff. So if you want to get into a Showcase auction, you're seeing the kind of stuff you got to be selling, right? But if you're interested, videogames@ha.com to reach out, speak to a consignment expert, see what they have to say, right? See if Heritage Auctions is the right choice for your video games. But huge thanks to them sponsoring tonight. I appreciate you guys coming out for the Atari auction. Slurpee is pretty uncommon. What the heck? I've never seen Slurpee before in my life either.
$900.
Why does the creature on this box... So the game is called Slurpee, right? So it's like, okay, what's the box art gonna look like, right? Because you don't know. It could be anything. And then you look... You have this creature that almost looks like it wants to be put out of its misery. Like, is it being forced to slurp whatever these are? And like he's crying. Why is he so sad about what he has to do? Is this his fate? What is this video game? So, nah, that's Slurpee for you. The Slurpee pushing its way up to almost $750 here. That's Qbert. Qbert ain't that sad, man. Qbert isn't wishing for death on a daily basis. That creature is me.
$1,000.
What do you mean that creature's me? That's my life as a streamer?
Fair warning.
I don't want to do this anymore, man. Shut up, Slurpee. You know what you're here for. $1,187 for Slurpee. Sounds like a Dark Souls boss. Yeah, we need the prepare to cry. We need the body video on Slurpee. What cruel fate has this creature been bound to? Star Trek 9.4 here. If you went around snorting spiders and snakes, you'd look like that too. Christ almighty. You just never know what you're going to get with box art from this era. You never know what you're going to get. Star Trek 9.4 pushing its way.
480, 550, 600, $750.
Ay. We're getting deep in a Pioneers auction, boys. I can feel it. We're getting deep in the auction here. I can feel it. Up and Down is another one that should go rare here. Bali Midway. It's a CIB. 9.8 CIB. I'm interested. I'm interested to see. Star Trek, the simulator there, went for 875 bucks. Tomark the Barbarian. Tomark, 9.48++. First time offering, Tomark the Barbarian. Under the working title Thundar, ultimately licensing fell through. Is Tomark a name of one of the ancients in Diablo 2?
Fair warning.
Doesn't look like it. The name sounds familiar for some reason. 550 bucks for Tomark the Barbarian. Up and down, Bali Midway. One of the harder... Yeah, see, it's funny, right? Like, you're talking about this game, Chuck. The write-up says that this is one of the harder games to find.
$80.
You know, it's weird that they'll say, you know, some say it's the rarest game, some say harder. It's hard to gauge exactly. First time offering it here at Heritage, but it's hard to gauge where a lot of this rarity lies just by reading those write-ups. Just kind of funny. 450 bucks are up and down. Riddle, call me underwhelmed, Charlie. Call me underwhelmed. Word Feud, again by Zonix. Yeah, all these Zonix games, hey? This William Selander person, I guess the way they built their collection or what they were chasing after was a lot of the weird third-party stuff.
$60.
Like, finding... It's crazy to think that someone was buying all of this super weird, obscure video games that were being published way back then. You know what I mean? Pushing its weight almost 750 bucks with Word Feud.
Fair warning.
It's just crazy that people like this existed.
Next lot.
The loose cart's pretty easy, but the box is hard to find. I figured as much. $687 for Word Feud. Here's Mickey Mouse Game & Watch. Weird. I didn't expect to see Game & Watch in here. Looks like there's only one, and then we have a little bit of art to close things out, actually. Just about done the auction here, guys. That's it for the video games, actually. So there we go. Mickey Mouse went for 1,125 bucks. The Game & Watch, man, expensive. Game & Watch always has more value than I think it does. Oh, no, sorry, we have Atari Jaguar. What? Why is this here? Why the hell was Tempest? Atari Jaguar, 95 plus, thrown in this auction. First time selling it at Heritage. It's actually getting some bids. We're pushing our way up over 600 bucks, looking for $700 on Tempest. Tied with one other example for the top of the pop. I'm baffled to see this here. Tempest rocks. I know nothing about it. I know very, very, very little about Atari Jaguar. Very little. I owned a console for a bit. I think I still own an Atari Jaguar CD, but like I never went deep on Jaguar. Pushing it to... I am baffled by how much this is selling for. Is this like one of the really rare games on the console, or do people just like this? What do we know about Tempest 2000? We're looking for $1,375. Hell of a grade on it, right? 95 plus. Fucking mint.
$3.
I don't know. Have I played a version of Tempest?
$5.
Like, have I? It doesn't ring any bells.
$7.
Tempest is the best? Why are you guys so excited about Tempest?
$16.
Tempest Arcade?
$20, $32, $36, $40, $44, $48, $55, $60, $70, $80.
I've never played this. I've never played that. No. Doesn't look familiar. It's not ringing any bells.
$5.
Is what I can say. One of the best games on the system, which isn't saying much though. Yeah, not ringing any bells for me.
$110, $130.
Not ringing any bells at all.
$150.
$1,250 though. I'm surprised it got that much love. Being hidden at the end of an auction where it shouldn't really even be in the auction to begin with. This is published 1994. I'm just surprised it still went for $1,250 bucks.
$2.
Joystick Volume 1, $175 there. That's from 1982. This is Joystick Volume 1, Issue 3. How to Win at Home Video Games. Again from 1982.
$5.
And I'm just going to go to the bathroom quick. I will be right back.
$9, $10, $12, $14, $16, $18, $20, $22, $24, $28, $30, $32, $34, $30, $38.
Fair warning. Next lot.
$1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $7, $8, $9, $10, $12, $14, $6, $8, $20, $20, $20, $20, $28, $30, $32.
Fair warning. Next lot.
$380, $420, $440, $460,
Oh.
$400, $500.
Surprised the auction's still going?
$600,
This is, you know, I would say this is
$700.
expected. We're nearing on an hour 45 right now for a showcase auction. Like, they're usually an hour and a half, 2,000, or, oh my god, hour and a half, 2 hours long. But that's generally what to expect out of a showcase Thursday. The Joystick magazine there, volume 1, issue 4, that's incredible. Is this advertising Donkey Kong? Just wait a second here.
Fair warning.
Donkey Kong Jr., second episode in the Kong cycle.
$900.
Is that advertising for Donkey Kong? Holy shit!
$1,100.
What'd they do to you, Donkey Kong?
$300.
That is insane. That is nuts. These are Double Dragon 2 original video game preliminary concept arts, as well as 2 mock-up boxes, unfolded game boxes. Going for $1,500. Meanwhile, I'm looking at frickin' I'm looking at possessed Donkey Kong for $59.
$130.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Like, what are they doing to you in there, man? It's got that zoocosis.
$220. $300.
This is original board game art for Electronic Battleship Review for Electronic Games Magazine.
$380.
Oh, here's what it looked like, published in the magazine. I'm so glad they included a picture showing what it actually looked like in the magazine. It took up the bottom. It was like, you know, a nice little piece there. And here's what it actually looks like. That's cool. That's cool. You need some of this stuff. You really do have to see it published to like appreciate it. Yeah, that's straight up a Dark Souls boss right there. You are correct. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves review for Electronic Games Magazine. Original art again, and there it is published in the magazine. Oh, there it is. That's what it would look like in the magazine. It's kind of crazy that these magazines back then didn't have screenshots. Right? Like these days, you just expect to see a screenshot or something, but instead they made literal original art to chuck in the magazine. That's crazy.
$140.
You just came in and you hear Greg laughing maniacally at Donkey Kong's inbred offspring. You never know what you're going to see, man, with pre-Atari stuff. You never know what you're going to see.
$170.
We're getting some absolute fire material. Like this is, you know, this is peak. And there's only like 50 people in here to see it. I swear to God, man. If I was a large streamer, if we had thousands of dollars, if we had thousands of people in this chat room, there'd be frickin' Keck W's flying in that chat. That is just good material right there. What's been the shocker of the auction? You've been in and out and quiet? You're taking Slurpee? Yeah. The shocker of the auction. Was there anything shocking?
Fair warning.
$280.
There's a reason the 80s mags used illustrations. The graphics suck. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like I figured as much. it's just like really funny period of time where they had to do that. The shocker of the auction, Mario Bros, I think everyone expected it to sell really well. It went for like $13,000. I don't think that shocks anyone though. Like, we all knew Mario was going to sell really freaking well. The rest of the stuff, I wouldn't say any individual sales are shocking, but like, we're looking at an average game price right now of close to $1,000.
$600, $700.
So like, I think the most shocking thing for me right now is just the overall strength of a lot of this ultra rare pre-Nintendo stuff. Like, sending in a lot of this stuff that has never been sold at auction before. It's super rare. Super rare also does kind of coincide with super niche. Yet, I mean, there was some stuff where I think people are getting deals. But, is this Mr. T fighting a kangaroo? Hold the phone. Hold that thought. Hold that thought for just 1 second here. Because we have Mr. T fighting a kangaroo. And he's not just fighting any kangaroo. Now, this kind of implies that Mr. T is looking to kick the shit out of a mother kangaroo, because you see the baby is cowering. The baby here does not understand why Mr. T is fighting his mom. What is going on?
Fair warning.
This is insane. Now, I don't think that's officially Mr. T.
$28.
Right? I don't think it's officially Mr. T, but like, that's fucking Mr. T, right?
$40.
$550. Like, oh man, I was talking about dabbling with stuff. For $550, this almost seems like it's worth hanging on your wall. That almost seems like it's worth putting on your wall. I'm gonna be honest. It's 20 by 15. It almost feels like that's worth putting on your wall for $500. This is why you stay for the artwork. You never... Yeah, this is a YouTube short. Yeah, you know what we need? Condition upgrade. We need people clipping. We need clippers. It's awful that I have to go and do all this stuff myself. Chatters are supposed to be clipping and just, I need the free editors. That is a YouTube short. Man, Slurpee could be a YouTube short. That Mr. T could be a short. Ugh. The Intellivoice. There's a lot of good sound bites in here. I need to go through this. There's good material in here. I agree, Condition. It's just like, ugh, man. Yeah. It all takes time. Editing and stuff, content creation, it just takes so much goddamn time. If I wanted to make a short out of that Mr. T bit right there, that's like a 2-hour job. By the time, like I sit down to start creating it, to the time it's published everywhere. That's like a 2-hour thing. Just kills, And then you put up this thing about Mr. T beating up a mother kangaroo. And it's like, do other people think that's funny? I think it's funny. But you never know how stuff like that's going to go. Yeah, like Chuck Norris. You never know how any of that stuff's going to actually perform when you publish it. Oh, God. Is it funny seeing Mr. T fight a mother kangaroo? I don't know. I think it's funny. We have the Pacific War. Player's Guide to Computer War Games Battle Scene for EGM Magazine. Where is it? Where's it published? Up there in the top corner? Yeah, up there in the top corner. The entire boat. It's kind of crazy, right? You see, this is what the actual artwork is, right? It's a full plane attacking a boat and stuff. But on the actual... it got cut in half, that's why. In its actual publish, you get 1/2 on this side, 1/2 on this side.
Fair warning.
Kind of interesting how the artwork gets used and published and stuff.
$28.
The Pacific War going for $124. For original pieces of art... Like, I know these are kind of niche, right? Like, showing up in Electronic Games magazine from 1984. I know it's niche, but this is original art selling for like $100.
$65. $70.
The Heritage Auctions Cursed Creature tier list has a nice ring to it. Turn it into a 10-minute video. Oh my God. I'm not good enough at that. Like, being able to take random, I'm gonna say like awful topics, like a topic that has no reason to be a video, right?
Auction is now closed.
Like, just that's not a topic for a video, right? There are people who are actually insanely talented at taking shit like that and making 10-minute videos. And I know I'm not good at that. But like, that is a real skill. $920 for the average lot. Yeah, it's wild, right, Joe? Like, it's just an expensive auction, man. For an Atari auction, it's just expensive. And you know, something I'm trying to do more with live stream, I'm like breaking the fourth wall here. I'm trying to make more jokes, talk more, banter more about stuff, random stuff. Just react, I guess, would be the word. React. I'm trying to be a better reactor. Do you guys love my reacts? Does Greg have the best reacts in the game? He doesn't. His reacts kind of suck ass, right? You gotta... man. Why is my job creating content so difficult, right? That's the kind of guy I'm becoming. Mario Bros 9.28 plus, top of the auction, $1,375. Tapper, $3,250. The drop off from Mario Bros to Tapper is kind of insane. Like I said, right, the soft ceiling was absolutely $2,000 in this auction. Tapper was $3,250, and the other Mario Bros was $3,000, and that's it. That's it. After that, every other game was $2,000 or under. Like, those truly were, $2,000 truly was a soft ceiling. Too much double ender for this auction. James Bond, $1,875. Gustbuster, $1,875. One-on-One, also $1,875. Miss Pac-Man, $1,875. Star Wars Arcade, $1,750. It's Only Rock and Roll, $1,750. You're new here, but you're killing it, in your humble opinion? Let's go, dude. Let's go, dude. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. It's easy to give information. That's the thing with like creating content and doing this. It's easy to give information, and it's very easy to be boring as fuck when you give information. Now, it's not a shot at Sean, but like, you know, I was talking about this with someone else, and my brother mentioned reserved investments. He doesn't watch his channel anymore, right? I like Sean. I like Sean's channel a lot. It's insanely informative. But the issue that Sean will always have is that the information portion is really fucking good, and the entertainment portion is really bad. And success on YouTube or content creation is like, even if you have the best information in the world, if it's not entertaining, you know, you're better off being more entertaining with worse information. And it's hard. It's hard to do that. The lowest item of the auction was
double ender.
Adam, I appreciate you. A double ender is fit for two, my guy. Me and you, double ender, family channel. You're right. Oh my, look at that. Zoomed right in. Mr. T, not a concern in the world. Perfect distance on that. He's gonna fucking swing hard on that kangaroo. The lowest selling game in the auction. Where's the lowest selling game? The Chuck Norris game. Chuck Norris was the least selling game in the entire auction. $162.50 for the CIB Chuck Norris Super Kicks. Yeah, Sean could, right? If he had actual editing, graphics, music, thumbnails. Like, his information side is a 10 out of 10. But then the entertainment and engaging side is like a 2. He wants to separate from pumping. That is not, like, pumping and entertainment aren't hand in hand. You can watch information channels that have super good editing, right? Super entertaining. It's not even that you need humor in there, but there's just so much that goes into creating something that holds viewer engagement that has to go beyond just delivering information, is all I'm saying. The best deal was meteorites? Yeah, seriously. It's good. It's the going off in different directions that's fun. There's knowledge, and then Chuck Norris bought it himself, riding a wingless dragon. Exactly. Right? It's the everything else with the information that makes it very difficult. But it's very difficult to do. Especially live streaming. Like, if you're doing a video, you can script jokes. You can script entertainment. You can do that stuff. Like, look at Rudy, right? Sean and Rudy have very similar style. Alpha Investments, if you don't know what I'm talking about, talks about Magic the Gathering, high end. Rudy and Sean are very, very, very similar in the information that they present. They're both masters in their field. But the way Rudy presents his information, the way he talks, the way he, you know what I mean? The way, like, and he also uses minimalistic editing. He uses zero editing, zero thumbnails. Moist Critical, Charlie, right? No editing, very minimal effort in the thumbnail. You can do it, but it requires a personality type and a scripting. I think a lot of people just should script. I don't think Rudy scripts. I don't think Moist Critical scripts. It's fucking insane they don't, but yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm going on a rant here. I'm just cooking. I'm cooking on something here. Rudy knows what's cool. Sean does not have a clue. Yeah, and it's personability, related. You gotta be related to your... yeah, it's... being relatable is what I was gonna try and say. And there are times when I sit here doing this channel, right, when we're... like, even this auction, we're talking about high-end video games. The average price here is $900. Relatability for this channel, for this type of information, it drops off a cliff, right? It's not relatable to talk about video games selling for $1,000 and I just picked up this game for $500. Relatability is very bad. But anyways, I can go on. Maybe I should make a frickin'... yeah, you need to understand what I'm telling you. You need to understand what I'm telling you guys in these videos. Like I said, I love Sean. Like, it may seem like I'm making fun of him. I greatly like Sean. I watch every single one of his videos. I like the guy. I respect it. I respect the hell out of him. I think he'd be the first to tell you his YouTube that isn't great. But neither here nor there, hey? Neither here nor there. Need to put all my thoughts in a video. Talking as if I'm a frickin' A, and no one cares, right? People are dropping off. We're done in here. We're done in here. We're done in here. Thank you for coming out, you guys. Huge thanks to Heritage sponsoring. Hope your chalky ass drink was worth it. Yeah, I spent the whole... that's 2 hours there to drink a protein drink. Have a good night, you guys. I greatly appreciate you hanging out for the auction. Have a good night, guys. You got my full thoughts and everything there. Flavor Games, new subscriber. Let's go, dude. Flavor Game. There's no shot he's actually here. There's no shot he's in this auction. But holy shit, thank you. I forgot to even have that notification turned on. Have a good night, guys.